Okay, I'm at camp. It's kind of late at night, and I'm studying the Bible here with you, so I have to be a little quiet, and I hope you can hear me. I'm studying the Bible with this special book called The Harmony of the Gospels. I highly recommend everybody to own it. And if we're going to piece together the last week of Jesus' life, it's almost indispensable to be able to do that. Let me show you what I'm talking about. We have here John chapter 12 and verse 1, where it says, Jesus, therefore, 6 days before the Passover, came to Bethany, where Lazarus was, whom Jesus had raised from the dead. In other words, this is Saturday. It's Saturday, and three of the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and John, tell of a woman, Mary, anointing Jesus on that day. If we read ahead a little bit to John chapter 12, verse 12, it says, on the next day, the great multitude who had come to the feast, when they heard that Jesus was coming to Jerusalem, took branches of palm trees and so on. And so this is Sunday, and we see all four Gospels. There are 4 columns on each of these pages. These lines are all synchronized time-wise, and it tells of Jesus' last Sunday before his death. If we turn the page over a little bit, we'll find that in Mark chapter 11, verse 12, it says, and on the next day, when he had departed from Bethany, he became hungry. This would be Jesus' Monday. Monday is a day of great confrontation. Jesus curses a fig tree that represents Israel, and he goes into the temple and he cleanses the temple, and he's creating some enemies on that Monday. Turning over a few pages, we get to this statement in Mark chapter 11, verse 19. It says, and whenever evening came, they would go out of the city. And as they were passing by in the morning, they saw the fig tree withered from the roots up. So this is the morning after Jesus cursed the fig tree. That's got to make it Tuesday morning. And if you check out Tuesday, it is pretty thick here in this Harmony of the Gospels, and a lot of it is in the book of Matthew. Matthew has the most material here, and this is when Jesus tells many of his parables about the coming judgment and the need to be faithful and responsible, and he confronts the Pharisees. Then Jesus tells all about the apocalypse and the coming judgment and the end of the age and the end of the world and so on. Tuesday was a very busy day. Turning over a few more pages, we get to Wednesday. Mark chapter 14, verse 1 says, now the Passover of unleavened bread was 2 days off. Backing up from Friday, that would make this Wednesday. Wednesday's very short in the Gospels and in the Harmony of the Gospels. Jesus is not recorded as doing anything specific. Now, I'm not saying he didn't do anything that day, didn't teach that day, didn't heal that day. I don't know, but the Gospels don't record it. What they do record is that while Jesus may not have been so busy, Judas Iscariot was very busy, because that was the day he arranged to betray Jesus. Finally, we get to Luke chapter 22, verse 7, that says, then came the first day of unleavened bread, on which the Passover lamb had to be sacrificed. This was the evening before the Passover, and so this was Thursday evening, the night of Jesus' last dinner with his disciples, when he washed their feet and when he prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane. And we'll notice that on this Thursday that it's John who really takes over and has the greatest amount about the words of Jesus during this last night of Jesus with his disciples before the crucifixion. There's page after page in the Harmony of the Gospels with only one column covering John's record of the words of Jesus that last night. So now let's continue with our study of the last week of Jesus' life. God bless.